HOA scheduled a wedding at my house without my permission, totally illegal, so I hired a demolition. You ever get that sinking feeling when someone just assumes they own you? Not metaphorically, literally thinks they own your property. That's exactly what happened to me the day I got back from a 2-week fishing trip in Alaska and found folding chairs lined up across my lawn like a graduation ceremony, a white tent pitched over my backyard garden, and a loud, giggling wedding planner talking about floral arrangements on my porch. Now, I'm a pretty calm guy. I moved out to this quiet little subdivision in Tennessee to escape the chaos of the city and enjoy my early retirement with some peace and barbecue. Got a lovely brick home on 2 acres at the edge of the neighborhood, fenced in with a big pecan tree in the back. It's my sanctuary. But that peace came to a screeching halt the moment I realized the HOA had scheduled a wedding at my house. My house. At first, I thought it was a mistake. I walked up to the planner and said, "Ma'am, I think you've got the wrong address. This is my house. What exactly are y'all doing here?" She looked me up and down like I was a delivery man and chirped, "Oh, you must be the groundskeeper. Don't worry, we'll clean everything after the ceremony. The bride's paying extra for cleanup." "Excuse me?" I blinked. "I'm not the groundskeeper. I own this place. Who gave you permission to do any of this?" She frowned like I'd just told her Santa Claus doesn't exist. "The HOA approved it. Cheryl said you were on board." "Of course. Cheryl. Cheryl is the HOA president, neighborhood tyrant, and self-appointed queen of the cul-de-sac. You know the type, hair sprayed stiff as drywall, fake pearls, clipboard always clutched like it holds the nuclear codes. Ever since I moved in, she's been poking into everyone's business, measuring grass height, citing invisible bylaws, complaining about unapproved birdhouses. I stormed off and dialed her number. She picked up like she was already expecting my call. "Oh hi, Daniel. Glad you're back. I meant to email you." "Cheryl," I interrupted, "why is there a wedding set up in my yard?" There was a pause. "Well," she said, all syrupy, "we had a last-minute venue issue. Poor Amanda, the bride, her cousin backed out, and they had nowhere to go. And your property is so spacious and, well, unused, so we figured." "You figured wrong," I snapped. "Take it all down. Now." That's when she switched gears from sweet to steel. "Daniel, this is for the community. It's a minor sacrifice for a neighbor's happiness. You're being extremely difficult." I hung up. I had already seen enough. Tables, speakers, champagne buckets, someone had been in my house too. The patio door was unlocked. I walked in and nearly tripped over a cooler full of bottled water and a stack of printed wedding programs with my address on them. No. Nope. Absolutely not. I gave them an hour. Told them to get their stuff and leave. The planner panicked and called Cheryl. Cheryl showed up with 2 board members and tried to guilt-trip me in person. "Think of Amanda," she said, arms folded. "She's been dreaming of this day for years." "I've been dreaming of peace and quiet," I said. "This ain't Disney. Dreams don't override trespassing laws." They refused to leave. That's when I called my lawyer. Now, my lawyer, Jim, is an ex-Marine who lives off-grid 8 months of the year and keeps his phone on silent. But when he picks up, things get done. He reviewed the HOA's charter and, surprise, they had absolutely no authority to commandeer private property for events. In fact, what they did bordered on civil trespassing. I filed a cease and desist letter within the hour and handed out printed copies to every vendor, caterer, and florist I could find. Cheryl told them to ignore it. "He's bluffing," she said. I wasn't bluffing. So I escalated. See, I had been planning to renovate the patio next spring anyway. Now I had the perfect excuse, and I decided to go big. I hired a crew to demolish the patio, dig up the garden, and start the new pool installation the very next morning. At 6 a.m. sharp. You have never seen so many hungover wedding guests leap out of lawn chairs as when 3 bulldozers and a concrete saw showed up. I had the permits. I had the plans. And I had every legal right. The bride was crying. The groom was screaming. Cheryl showed up in a bathrobe, yelling about ruining the most important day of Amanda's life. I just sipped my coffee on the porch and waved. "I told y'all yesterday. You didn't want to leave, so now you can celebrate with a front row seat to heavy machinery." By noon, the lawn was a crater. By evening, the tent was gone, the flowers wilted, and the bride's family was filing complaints, with no luck. I wasn't breaking any laws. They were. And I wasn't done. I gathered video footage from my security cameras showing people entering my home, rearranging my furniture, and even popping open bottles in my kitchen. I posted clips online with the caption, "HOA breaks into private property to host unauthorized wedding, guess who's getting sued?" It went viral. Turns out, people really hate HOAs. News crews started calling. I gave interviews. I didn't even need to exaggerate, truth was outrageous enough. Within 2 weeks, the HOA was under investigation by the county. Cheryl tried to deny everything until they found emails showing she signed off on using my address, without informing the board or me. She was forced to resign. The HOA had to pay for damages, court fees, and an emotional distress settlement. I used the money to upgrade my pool design and add an outdoor kitchen. Jim got a lifetime pass to use it whenever he wanted. But the best part? The new HOA board, desperate to avoid lawsuits, rewrote the community rules. No more unauthorized use of property. No more unsanctioned events. And a brand new clause called the Daniel Rule that prohibits any HOA member from entering private residences for any reason, ever. Amanda and her groom? They had to reschedule. At a motel ballroom outside town. Shame. And Cheryl? Last I heard, she moved into a condo with no HOA. Guess she couldn't handle the new restrictions she once enforced. As for me, I swim laps every morning in my new pool, occasionally chuckling when I see neighbors walk by and stare at the bronze plaque I installed near the gate. In memory of Amanda's wedding and Cheryl's reign. Trespassers will be demolished.